Gadkari ji, Honorable Minister for Road Transport and Highways and MSMEs, हमको मिल रहे हैं कि इस सेशन का शुरुआत जिसका हम स्ट्रक्चर किया है, रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएटिंग डिमांड स्टिमुलेटिंग ग्रोथ, इसके बारे में चर्चा करने के लिए। और हम सब जानते हैं ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर के, हमारे माननीय मंत्री जी के एक जो पैशन है, जो एक लीडरशिप उन्होंने दिखाया है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के दिशा, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में स्पेशली, वो कि हमारे ये इस ऑडियंस के बहुत अच्छी तरह से जानते हैं। और उनको जो ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड जो हम बोलते हैं, जो वर्क ऑन द ग्राउंड, ही ऑलवेज लाइक्स टू स्पीक अबाउट आउटकम, आउटकम क्या होगा और कैसे हम उसको जो डिस्कशंस जो हुए उसको हम आउटकम में कैसे ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सके, उसके ऊपर काफी सारे ध्यान देने के लिए हमको उत्साह देते हैं। और विद दिस एनविएबल ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड जो हम बोल सकते हैं ऑन डिलीवरिंग प्रोमिसेस, ईच ऑफ हिज एंडेवर्स इज सेंटर्ड अराउंड द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, इंडिया एंड इट्स पीपल। और हम सब बहुत ही प्रिविलेज्ड है टू हैव हिज एडवाइस। आज उनके एडवाइस गाइडेंस मिलेंगे हमको इस बारे में। लेकिन मैं इतना कहना चाहता हूं कि जब भी हम चर्चा करते हैं इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में या काफी और एरियाज में जो गाइडेंस एडवाइस हमको मिलते हैं, उसके ऊपर हमारे जो वर्क प्लान होता है इंडस्ट्री के, वो सर आपका जो गाइडेंस मिलते हैं उसी का ऊपर हम बेस करके बनाते हैं। बायो एनर्जी पे जब आप बात करते हैं, या ईवीज में आपने कितने बार हमारे साथ गाइडेंस दिया है, एमएसएमई तो आपका एक पैशन एरिया है, या वाटर रिसोर्सेज में, या रिवर रिजुविनेशन में, आई कैन गो ऑन। सो कुछ ना कुछ एरियाज में जब भी ये इंटरेक्शन सर आपके साथ होते हैं, आपने हमको बहुत ही एक एक्साइटेड और एक एनकरेज कंडीशन में लेके आते हैं। सर आज हमारे बीच में विनायक, जो हमारे विनायक चैटर्जी जो सीआई का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर काउंसिल चेयर करते हैं, वो है। दीपक शेट्टी जेसीबी से है सर, और सुधीर राव होशिंग आईआरबी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से है, और कृष्णा महेश्वरी अदानी रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट से है। हम चाहते हैं कि आपको ये इंडस्ट्री से भी कुछ एक briefly for 1-2 minutes each one will talk about their perspective of what has really happened and the type of excitement that we see in the infrastructure sector, which is extremely laudable. Sir, हम ladies and gentlemen, सर आज हमारे बीच यहाँ पे 400 डेलीगेट्स मौजूद है। सर 400 जो लोग जो यहाँ पे मौजूद है, सारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, रोड बिल्डिंग रिलेटेड सेक्टर्स में से है। और हम बोलते हैं कि सब हम जानते हैं कि जब हम बोलते हैं कि 1 रुपी जो हम स्पेंड करते हैं इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में, 2.5 रुपया इकोनॉमी में वापस आते हैं। और काफी कुछ हमने एक्शंस देखे हैं, नेशनल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पाइपलाइन, या लॉन्च ऑफ द एसेट मोनेटाइजेशन प्रोग्राम एंड डैशबोर्ड फॉर ट्रैकिंग द प्रोग्रेस टू प्रोवाइड विजिबिलिटी टू इन्वेस्टर्स, डीएफआई जिसका चर्चा हम कितने दिनों से कर रहे हैं, उसका हम रियलिटी बनते हुए देख रहे हैं। हाईएस्ट एवर आउटले सर to your ministry, and out of which majority or almost all is really for capital expenditure. और हमने देख रहे हैं नेशनल हाईवे कॉरिडोर्स सारे स्टेट्स में, तमिलनाडु में या केरला में या असम या वेस्ट बंगाल में। These are really examples of government's unflinching commitments towards creation of world-class infrastructure in the country. Sir, हम firmly ये believe तो करते हैं कि that investment इस magnitude में infrastructure में एक huge opportunity है for embellishing demand, job generation में, या laying the foundation of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So, sir, once again, we'd like to welcome you, welcome the Honorable Minister for road transport and highways and MSMEs, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji हमारे बीच में. So thank you very much for coming here, and we would look forward to listening to you. But before I come to you, sir, I'll request Vinayak to just give us the perspective from the Infrastructure Council of CII, a few important points to highlight to our Honorable Minister. Vinayak? Vinayak?
Thank you, Rajit ji. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, Vinayak, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Am I audible? Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gadkari ji, namaskar. Vinayak Chatterjee here. been a pleasure to interact. I just want to Indian industry as well and the large population of India that uses roads. A very, very big thank you to you. We applaud your leadership and the sheer transformation of the road sector that we have seen under your leadership. I mean, whether it is 34 kilometers a day construction going to 40, whether it is almost 100 fastags, whether it is your historic announcement of no toll booths that you announced in Parliament within 1 year with GPS tracking, your vehicle scrappage policy, Greenfield Expressways, which was a dream earlier. We were only expanding existing carriageways, but Delhi, Mumbai, Delhi, Amritsar, Katra, Delhi, Meerut, these are all new Greenfield Expressways which you had expressed in your, when you first took over in your first term. I remember in 2014, you said we will move to Greenfield Expressways. 6,000 highway amenities and your very ambitious asset monetization program, including setting up the NHAI InvITs. Now, like Chandrajit, my list can go on and on to just say that the sheer pace of transformation that we have seen under your leadership is historic, and we as people of India are very, very proud about it, sir. So please do accept our very heartfelt compliments from CII. I don't want to take too much time because there are many panelists who are waiting to make their points known. I have for your consideration 3 suggestions, sir. 2 from industry, 1 from the road using public. The first suggestion from industry is that, is it possible for you under your leadership to actually have transparency in the progress of an invoice when it is submitted to NHAI, MORTH or anybody else, so that other ministries can follow? For example, today the income tax department and the passport department often send SMS and emails saying we have received your income tax return, it is under process, your assessment has been done, or you need scrutiny, your refund is under process. So at each point of time on passport, for example, or income tax, there is a blockchain keeping the customer informed about the progress of his application. So from Indian industry side, sir, it's a very simple information technology tool. Under your leadership, can you take a look at the possibility of blockchain transparency of invoicing, so that as a customer of NHAI, when I submit my invoice, at any point of time, know at which stage it is? I think it will lead to higher accountability, professionalism, and transparency. That is suggestion number 1. Suggestion number 2 is the whole issue of bank guarantees. This creates tremendous problems for anybody who is a supplier to NHAI or MORTH, whether it is an engineering or whether it is EPC. So my suggestion is that there has been a certain push to the insurance sector, and the working group of the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority has created a positive paper on creating a concept called surety bonds. Surety bonds, you well know, sir, is a substitute for bank guarantees, and it brings the insurance sector also as a financier of this sector. It will greatly reduce the burden of depending on commercial banks for their on bank guarantees. So suggestion number 2 is, can we use your good offices, sir, within the political bureaucratic system to push the pace of surety bonds as a substitute for bank guarantees by the insurance sector? My last point is a point from users of road. Sir, increasingly, as you have realized, the road toll paying public, whether it is a truck owner or whether it is a car or 2-wheeler owner, I'll just wait. Okay. The toll paying public, sir, is now become very, very conscious about the services that they're getting for paying a toll. So if I am paying 200 rupees toll, then I expect driving comfort, highway amenities, safety, etc., driving comfort. So can we suggest from the user perspective, can we suggest from a road user perspective, sir, that the idea that we have often discussed and you have championed, can we fast track the rating of roads on a 100-point scale or whatever by professional agencies, so that one day when your GPS linked toll collection comes into play, along with that, there is a certain linkage upward and downward to the toll payment based on the rating of the road. I'm going to stop here, sir, and just summarize the 3 points. Blockchain transparency of invoice tracking, surety bonds as a substitute for bank guarantees, and rating of roads to be ultimately linked to the incentives and disincentives to the toll collector who runs the road. I'm going to stop here now, sir, and pass the baton back to Chandrajit to conduct the rest of the proceedings. Thank you very much, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you, Vinayak. Thank you very much. Without wasting any further time, uh, you know, I would request the Honorable Mr. and MSME Shri Nitin Gadkari ji. May I request you, sir, to please address us. Thank you, sir.
All respectable dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here in your midst today, and I compliment CII for organizing this important national conference on road infrastructure creating demand. CII for organizing this important national conference on road infrastructure creating demand, stimulating growth. Our digital platform engaging stakeholders from across India. The title of the conference, Creating Demand, Stimulating Growth, aptly captures the reason why Government of India has been giving the highest priority and trust to infrastructure development in the country. It is our firm belief that increased investment in infrastructure would not be create demand in the country, which is need of the hour to overcome COVID-infused slowdown in the present context. But also and more importantly, it would make growth sustainable, equitable and inclusive. In fact, it is proven that due to multiplier effect, 1 rupee spent on infrastructure ends up to rupees 2.5 in the economy. Is absolutely correct. With the context, my government has provided the utmost importance to development of world-class infrastructure in the country. We have taken several measures in the recent past to provide a fillip to infrastructure development in general and road highway construction in particular. As we all know, the road infrastructure plays a critical role in the growth of Indian economy, as 64.5% of the goods and nearly 90% of passenger traffic use road network to commute. The road infrastructure has direct and indirect effect on the sustainability of growth and overall development of countries, together with enhancing efficiency of movement of goods and creating employment opportunities. In a study conducted by IDFC in 2019, it is calculated that due to improvement in roads, every 10% of cost saved by firms could potentially increase the number of people they hire by 5.6% and 1.9% respectively. The National Infrastructure Pipeline, a first of its kind initiative to provide world-class infrastructure across the country, has been expanded to cover more than 7,300 projects with an revised investment of rupees 111 lakh crore by 2025. I am glad to share that project worth rupees 44 lakh crore, that is 40%, are under implementation, and project worth 34 lakh crore, 30% are at conceptualization stage, and project worth 22 lakh crore, 20% are under development. Further, this year, government has increased year-on-year infrastructure capex by 34% to rupees 5.54 lakh crore. In the union budget, government has provided the highest ever allocation of rupees 1,18,000 crore to Ministry of Road Transport and Highway, of which rupees 1.8 lakh crore is for capital expenditure. In fact, the pace of construction of highway have reached a record level of 30 km. Now it is 35 km per day. And after end of March, finally we are trying to take it up to 40 km per day. I don't know whether we will succeed or not. You will agree with me that this is a phenomenal achievement if we capture the pace of highways construction to 2014, when my government took over the charge. It was just 11.67 km per day, with dwindling investor confidence and innumerable issues affecting the sector. We have also launched Bharatmala Pariyojana project, which envisages the development of 34,800 km of highway at rupees 5.35 lakh crore. So far, the contract has been awarded for a length of 13,521 km road, and DPR for 16,500 km is currently in the pipeline. Apart from this, bids have been invited for 4,800 km. This makes India one of the largest construction market globally, and I compliment industry for ramping up their capacity to match with emerging demands and government's plan to build the world-class infrastructure rapidly. I understand recently a company made a world record by laying down 12,500 cubic meter of concrete on a stretch of 2.54 kilometer in a day. This is amazing, and this shows what India can do if we are committed and work together. We have also removed the requirement of EMD for bidding of new tenders to enable more industry players to participate in highway construction. Another path-breaking initiative undertaken by the government is the launch of National Asset Monetization Pipeline and monetizing operating public infrastructure asset will offer a win-win for all. A very exciting business and investment opportunity for private sector to invest in operating infrastructure, which will yield returns from day one, and on the other hand it will help government unlocking the value of investment made in creating infrastructure assets. Government has set the target of monetizing around 100 assets in oil, gas, ports, airports and power sector. My ministry through NHI is planning to raise rupees 1 lakh crore through monetization of highway under toll operate transport mode in the next 5 years. In order to catalyze long-term investment into infrastructure, the government is in the process of setting up a new development finance institution, DFI. The institution is being set up on a capital base of rupees 20,000 crore and will have a lending target of rupees 5 lakh crore in 3 years. While we are leaving no stone unturned to ensure availability of adequate funding and infrastructure creation. In parallel, our major focus in our timely implementation of projects with quality, and we seek your full support and cooperation to make it happen. I would like to take this opportunity to request you to do share your ideas and suggestions further increase the pace of development of highway in the country, and also how we increase the private sector participation going forward. Lastly, a country is as good as its infrastructure is. To achieve the GDP of 5 trillion US dollar by 24-25, India needs to spend about 1.4 trillion dollar. My government is committed to make investment in this magnitude in infrastructure sector to have a sustainable development. I am sure the thrust on the road infrastructure given by the government will have a huge push demand in the economy, provide a solid foundation for the sustainable and inclusive economic growth, and above all create job opportunity for millions of people to the country. Same time, the most important sector related with the transport sector is the automobile sector. We have presently the automobile sector's turnover is 7,50,000 crore, and now we are planning towards moving to the new alternative fuel, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, electric and hydrogen fuel cell. We are encouraging alternative fuel because our import is of 7 to 8 lakh crore for crude oil. Here is a sector where we can contribute and we can create more jobs by making biofuel, by making electric as a fuel, and lithium ion battery. 81% of the battery is now making in India. Now we are working on the line to develop metal ion like aluminum ion, steel ion, zinc ion and sodium ion. 100% we will get through to the technology in it. At the same time, we are successfully making the experiments on the basis of hydrogen fuel cell, green hydrogen. Actually, the Chennai IIT has successfully experimented making hydrogen from seawater and making hydrogen from solar energy. So these are the two important things by which we can get breakthrough. Here is a huge potential is available. So already we are working on the alternative fuel, e-vehicles, and LNG is the fuel for the future, changing present diesel buses and trucks on LNG, making city bus and short-term buses and transport on CNG, and we can make bio-CNG from agriculture, from biomass, where there is a huge potential for growth and for employment. At the same time, the most important weak point presently I am facing in my ministry, that we have 85% of the traffic is on the road. Actually, for the road sector it is a good thing, but in the country's interest it is not the correct thing. Our first priority is for development of waterways, second priority for railway, third priority for the road, and fourth for the aviation. But unfortunately, now the road traffic is going to increase. So my suggestion is we need to move towards public transport on electricity. Now I am in charge for cable car, ropeway, funicular railway, light rail transport, and all type of new innovation in electric transport, mass rapid transport. Now the Prime Minister has given me that responsibility. So we have the number of automobile is increased every time in the country with a large speed. We have a specialization about the increase in population and increase in automobile numbers. Somewhere it is the time for the country that we should give a comfortable public transport system on electricity, and now we are making some new ideas, new innovation in it. I am giving you one example. We are making one bridge, one elevated bridge in Chennai, starting from Chennai port, going to Madurayal, something, I do not remember the name of the place. But now we are decided to make it bridge with, on the ground level, it will be 6 to 8 lane road. First layer, it will be flyover. Second layer, it will be flyover. And the third layer, there will be a public transport system by using the best technology in the world, where people can go by the system. We repeat the same design and system in Pune also, in Pune to Shirur. Also we are planning for making that system, and by which 100% it is to be economically viable. Now we are also, yesterday I have a discussion with the Siemens people. Now we are planning to make Mumbai-Delhi Express Highway as electric highway. We are in the process. And if we can make just like a railway, the electric cable will be there. So it is going to resolve lot of problem, pollution problem, logistic cost problem. Because presently even we can use it, this highway, e-highway, for public transport, for goods transport, and there will be historically a dramatically change in the cost. So these are the new technology, new innovations for public transport and for good transport. We need to have take an appropriate vision for that. So my suggestion is, by considering the future problems, opportunities and challenges related with the transport sectors, and thinking in the line in the national interest, which is import substitute, cost effective, pollution free and indigenous, on that line we need to find out the way out. Road construction is good. We are doing road construction, making green highways. At the same time, your good suggestion from Vinayak ji about this first thing he was telling to me about the blockchain system. It is very important. You give me some detailed presentation about it, and we will consider. At the same time, regarding the bank guarantee, people are facing lot of problem. But I am very much fed up about that authority in Hyderabad. I am pursuing from last 1.5 years about this insurance surety, making insurance for road construction. Our proposal is pending with them, and we are now also open for making insurance bonds and other thing also. All type of options we are open. And bank is taking time to 1 year for giving bank guarantee. So you made the follow up with the insurance authority, where I am very much annoyed and fed up that I am constantly making the persuasion to them, but their response is not very positive. The proposal is pending with them. Reports are positive. Only they have supposed to take the decision. But for 1.5 years, the project is delayed. Rating of the good roads, already the process start. We have received the reports and we are making that. Regarding the system of that making a toll with the help of this satellite system, by making this GPS system, using GPS system for that, we are in the fast track. Now our toll collection by fast track is 93%, and 100% there are some problems for 7%, but we will achieve that. The toll, actually we have got a system in my office and even NHI. We can get information anywhere if there is a delay on the toll booth, on every lane. At the same time, I can tell you where is the delay anywhere in the country. So we are monitoring all the delays in the toll booths. Now the time comes only up to 3 minutes. Previously it was 30 and 40 minutes. We are making roadside amenities and logistic parks and bus ports. My request is, here is a too much potential for employment and for growth is available. The economic viability is there for bus port, for logistic parks, then multimodal car parking. Already we have NHIDCL doing lot of projects. Then we can make this bus ports, then logistic parks now especially we are concentrating on it. And the roadside development, we can make industrial clusters, just like smart cities we can make smart villages, and where we can make new smart city which are economically viable by making industry. And there is also a smart city for the poor people, low cost housing and other thing we can develop the new cities. For this new initiative, 100% we need initiative from government side already we have taken, but we need cooperation from the public private sector. The economic viability is good. Internal rate of return is very good. Ultimately, decentralization of wealth and decentralization of everything is very important. Our rural, agriculture, tribal sector and 115 aspirant districts are economically backward. We need decentralization of industry. We need to develop backward area, socially, economically, educationally backward. That is agriculture, rural, tribal, forest area and 115 aspirant district, where GDP contribution is very negligible. My special request to CII, how we can make development in the backward area, socially, economically, educationally backward area. How we can make development in agriculture, rural, tribal, handloom, handicrafts, village industry. How we can make good infrastructure there. If we can resolve the problem of rural India, 100% we will reduce the problem of urban India. The Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Chennai, they are facing big problems because of population. But we need to develop employment potential and growth to the rural, agriculture and tribal India. To make good road, internet is available in 6,50,000 villages. So the process is going on. At the same time, we can make smart village. We can make there lot of industry on the, we have that cow dung paint, the best quality paint recognized by the world laboratories, the available with the half of the price. It is the quality is very good, which is compared with the already the brands which are present in the market, and by which we can give cow dung rate of 5 rupees per kg. So 5 cows anywhere if he have poor person, he will get 15,000 to 20,000 rupees from selling that cow dung. So these are the new technology, new innovation by which we need to develop rural economy and increase the turnover of village industry. My target is to take it up to 5 lakh crore and to create 5 crore new jobs in the rural agriculture and tribal India and also in urban India. Presently our MSME contributes 30% in the growth, but my target is to take it up to 40%. Total export of India, out of which 48% is from MSME. My idea is to take it 60%. Up till now we have created 11 crore jobs. Our plan is to create more 5 crore jobs, and that is exactly the highest priority for the government. At the same time, in our GDP growth, our 8 to 12% is from agriculture. We need to take it up to 20%. Then 22 to 24% is from manufacturing sector. Here the CII is really important for that we want to make it at least 35 to 40% from manufacturing sector. And the other GDP contribution is 50 to 56% from the service sector. We can think about it, our service sector is doing excellent job. So the way in which we need to find out the weaknesses and negative points, and 100% we need to find out the alternatives for that, by which with positivity and self-confidence we can make the dream of our Prime Minister to make Indian economy a #1 global economy in the world. And we are also on the path to make Indian automobile industry, whose turnover is 7.5 lakh crore. Our idea is to make it 10 lakh crore within 2 to 3 years, and we will be the #1 automobile manufacturing hub in the world. All big brands of automobile are present in India. Now the scrapping policy is there. So government has a full support for the growth, creating more employment potential, because ultimately our target is to eradicate the poverty. So without growth, without getting capital investment, we cannot get growth. Without growth, we cannot create employment potential, and without employment potential, we cannot eradicate the poverty. So 100% for Atmanirbhar Bharat, for the infrastructure, water, power, transport and communication is equally important. We need to increase the growth, and by which only we can create more employment potential. And the road sector is the most important sector. is already creating lot of employment in the country. So we are working on the fast track. I am confident that 100% our GDP growth rate is going to increase, and 100% we will make Indian economy as Atmanirbhar Bharat and the number one global economy in the world. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, very much. Thank you very much for that. Issues of road and highways. You have also touched upon some very important areas. And thanks for really talking about the future technologies of public and good transport. And this is one area, sir, we would like to work with you. This is also an area which is of great interest and passion for us. Talked about the alternate fuels and the entire our manufacturing is from the vehicle industry, and therefore we are so keen that that sector is being championed by someone like you. We really look forward to working with you. We will create this group within CII and our institutions and associations, and would keep seeking your guidance and keep on reporting back to you about the progress that we make. Thank you also for talking about the rural economy, sir, and the role the MSME can play there. We have also taken that on board, and we shall work with you and your ministry.
If you look at 2020, after the first lockdown opened, as we were tracking almost 180,000 JCB machines in real time via telematics. While the urban centers remained affected, the activity in rural India revived much faster and has grown unabated. The CE industry was absolutely relieved when we saw the road building activity grow at a for the sector was very encouraging. So was the acceptance of the long-standing demand for a separate DFI, which was also very heartening. The road sector today accounts for 30 to 35% of our equipment demand. Further, the natural infrastructure pipeline and introduction of private participation are likely to continue to drive the growth for the construction equipment. It is very important to note that the Indian construction equipment industry has witnessed a CAGR of approximately 14% in the period FY15 to 19, and India now is the third largest construction equipment market after China and USA. Sir, it is indeed a matter of great pride for us that the whole world is looking at us. For instance, the JCB machines that are made in India and are built to one global quality are being exported to more than 110 countries around the world. And Importantly, the JCB backhoe, which is called the JCB, has almost 97% of local parts. So we feel very proud that our MSME partners also get this opportunity to export. Sir, I feel this is a great example of Atmanirbharta and also made in India for the world. I remember during our interactions in Nagpur during AgroVision or during XCon 2019, you had clearly said that there will be a strong demand for next few years. Get ready, tayari kar lo, and how true that prediction has been. Even despite the pandemic, 2020 was the third best year for us in the construction equipment industry. Even more heartening, sir, is to note the all-round influx of technology in the sector, be it in the construction of roads or in the equipment building them. Digital technology, IoT, big data, and machine learning are coming into play. JCB India has pioneered the integration of digital technology in its range of machines to advanced telematics called LiveLink, and also we have launched the Intelli series. So the LiveLink helps in remote monitoring and fleet management. And with intelligent machines today, one can come to know of how much of the road has been compacted by the machine, number of passes made, or even how much load has been moved by a wheel loader. Sir, all this is available in real time on smartphone or on the digital display to the operator, use of which I'm sure will help in reducing the cycle time in road construction. Thus, the infrastructure development companies can now, via an app, digitally see their equipment on a map, which tells them the location, the performance, the work done, the downtime, service alerts, safety and security alerts, all. And sir, we all know how much passionate you are about safety. One more focus area is sustainability in construction. And so with your knowledge and guidance on CNG, LNG biofuels and on hydrogen, the construction equipment industry is looking at alternate fuels very seriously. Many of us have the required technology, but we request your support in developing the ecosystem around alternate fuels so that our customers need not worry about refueling. Sir, sustainability also entails focus on emission. The industry needs to wholeheartedly adopt and accept the latest emission standards for all construction equipment. As is the case the world over, this must be our duty. So finally, one more milestone that needs to be crossed is of skilling. At the moment, there is no separate license or even mandatory training required to operate construction equipment. Most operators learn these sophisticated machines by themselves or through other operators. Now, this creates a challenge because sometimes they are not able to appreciate the complexity of the machine, neither they are able to use it productively. So while the OEMs have set up operator training centers, but in the absence of a government policy, this training is still voluntary and not compulsory. Licenses for various categories for construction equipment need to be thought about in India for safety and productivity reasons, sir. Sir, incidentally, I was very proud to mention that recently we commenced our first batch of 17 women operators. We have tied up with a local ITI and are encouraged to see their enthusiasm and commitment. We feel this role of operator should become gender neutral like many other in the manufacturing. So to quickly summarize, under your leadership, the three broad areas which are emerging for the future. One is integration of digital technology for both projects and equipment, sustainability and use of alternate fuel, and skilling as a mandatory prerequisite. So with all the road projects that are being announced, people are saying that India will be the second largest construction equipment market in the world by 2030. I believe that the focus that you have brought in, so the vision that you have set up, maybe 60 kilometers of road per day, I think India will become second largest and probably very close to first, much before that. Thank you very much, sir, for the time. And as always, thank you very much for your motivation to all of us. Thank you.
But one of my question to you about the construction equipment industry, that is from request from my core of my heart that it is very serious equipment problem. Industry. That is from request from my core of my heart that it is very serious problem, the pollution. And your all equipment are actually, they are using diesel. Today, the ministry has, or petrol ministry has already giving notification for opening of ethanol pumps. So ethanol is available surplus in the country. The CNG is available. Now LNG is also available. If you can make the alternative, it can reduce the cost. If the cost of the project is 1000 crore, the cost of the diesel is 100 crore. And if in place of diesel, if we can use CNG or LNG, our saving will be more than 60 crore. Some of the companies are making trucks and other things on the basis of electric. So 100% for this reason, I am giving you great business. I know how you are making profits and making turnover for it. I am giving you the confidence that we are going to make it 2 times, 3 times more turnover. But at the same time, your research innovation is very important. I know that you are doing a lot of experiments. But first of all, when your all equipments you are going to convert into alternative fuel, either it is LNG, CNG or ethanol or electric. So my suggestion is make it fast. Sometime the time is coming now, because of pollution we need to take some hard decisions, and where because of the diesel we are facing economically problem and we are facing pollution problem. So my request to all of you that make it as early as possible to make the alternatives and come with the alternatives and options. Then it is 100% to be very useful for the country and for the contractor also. It is a cost effective, import substitute, pollution free, and you are making indigenous, no problem. So my request is for construction equipment industry that only don't think about your turnover and profits. I know that you are getting ample profits. You are making your turnover double, at least 2 times, 3 times more. I don't have any problem. It is ultimately a business. But at the same time, spend something on research, making the research and find out the solution for alternative fuel. So this is the very important for the industry. I'm going to call a meeting for that, and where I need your cooperation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And you'll be on the job.
Great. We'll request 2 other participants to make very quick points, please, and request both of them to be very quick, as we have to respect the time of the Honorable Minister. Krishna Prakash Maheshwari, CEO of Adani Road Transport. Krishna Prakash, you're on mute, Krishna. Yeah, now it's okay. Now it's okay.
My greetings to the Honorable Minister and all the co-panelists. Sir, while the Adani Group is involved in a number of infrastructure sectors, we are new to the road sector. We have been there for the last 3 years. And I have no hesitation in saying that the Road Ministry as well as NHAI, under your leadership and guidance, they have taken some of the most proactive and well thought out steps to not only expedite the growth of the sector, attract investment, but also to lessen the pain which the entire country and the road sector construction industry particularly faced during the rough patch of COVID in last year. Some of the steps which were taken by the ministry and NHAI, such as monthly interim payments to the contractors and concessionaires for HAM and EPC projects instead of milestone payments, reducing the requirement of bank guarantees, extensions of time, supporting the toll operators for the traffic lost due to COVID and the resultant lockdowns. They have resulted in tremendous succor to the stakeholders. And this is one of the reasons why, despite the hardships faced on account of the lockdowns and the shortage of labor, the pace of highway development in the country still touched a record level of 35 kilometers per day. Our request to you,